I'm going to start with the part everyone asks about first, because I'm tired of people acting like it happened out of nowhere, like I woke up one day, saw an Instagram caption, and decided to become a villain in my own marriage. Last Saturday night, my wife posted a concert video with the caption, "Forgot I'm happily married and pregnant for a second." And under it, her friends were cheering her on like she just won a championship. Girl, same. We're all single tonight. What pregnancy? Laughing emojis stacked like bricks. So I commented one line, "Let me help you forget permanently." Then I called a locksmith, changed the locks while she was still screaming lyrics in a stadium 2 hours away, put her suitcases on the porch in neat rows like airport check-in, and texted her a photo of it. Her call, when she finally realized she couldn't get in, wasn't angry at first. It was hysterical. It sounded like someone trapped in a nightmare of her own making. Now, before you decide what kind of man I am, you need to understand one thing. I'm not the kind of husband who ignores red flags. I don't let things slide. I don't pretend disrespect is just a quirky personality trait. I don't do that modern thing where you swallow humiliation and call it being secure. When boundaries get crossed, I address it immediately, which is exactly why last Saturday wasn't my first reaction. It was my final one. My wife Ashley is 31. I'm 33. We were married for 4 years. She was 6 months pregnant with our first child. From the outside, we looked like a stable couple. Good jobs, a clean apartment, weekend errands, date nights that involved laughing at the same dumb reality shows, and the kind of boring routines people tell you are the foundation of real love. And for a long time, I believed that. About a year ago, Ashley fell into social media like it was a trapdoor she didn't see coming. At first, it was harmless. Outfit of the day posts, coffee runs, little day in my life clips where she'd film her hand opening a fridge and then somehow edit it into a cinematic montage like she was living in a commercial. She started learning trendy sounds and filters and those jump cut transitions where the lighting changes and suddenly she's wearing a different outfit. I didn't care. Everyone's online now. If she wanted to post her nails and her pumpkin spice opinions, go for it. The shift was subtle at first. The posts got sharper, the captions got performative, like she wasn't sharing our life anymore. She was auditioning for a different one. The first incident happened 9 months ago. She went out to a bar with her girlfriends. I was working late. I checked my phone during a break and saw the post. A photo of her and her friends with cocktails, all smiles, mid-laugh, the kind of picture people take to prove they're having fun. The caption read, "Out with the girls pretending I'm single again." It hit me like a cold slap. Not because I thought she was actually cheating right then, not because I'm some paranoid guy who can't handle his wife being social, but because it was public. And it wasn't a private joke between us. It was her broadcasting to the world that being married to me was something she had to pretend a way to feel free. When she came home, she was buzzing with that tipsy confidence people get when they've been hyped up by their friends all night. She smelled like perfume and citrus vodka. I waited until she kicked off her shoes and started rummaging through the fridge for something salty. Then I showed her my phone. "What's this about?" I asked. She squinted at it for half a second and laughed. "Oh my God, it's a joke. You're so sensitive." "It's disrespectful," I said. "Why would you pretend you're single when you're married to me?" "It's just something girls say," she replied, already bored. "It doesn't mean anything." "It means something to me," I said. "Delete it." She rolled her eyes the way someone rolls their eyes when they feel inconvenienced by the concept of consequences, but she deleted it. "Happy?" she asked. "No," I said, "but at least it's gone." She huffed and walked into the bathroom like I was the one who'd ruined the night. That was our first boundary conversation. Clean, direct. I said I didn't want her posting things that mocked our marriage. She agreed. We moved on, or I thought we did. The second incident happened 6 months ago, right around when she got pregnant. She went to a bachelorette party in Vegas. Her sister was there, some friends from college, a whole group of women doing the full last fling before the ring weekend. Except Ashley wasn't the bride. She was the supporting cast, there to drink, dance, and document everything. She posted stories all weekend. Hotel room mirror shots, poolside clips, neon lights, shots of glittery drinks. I didn't love it, but I didn't comment. I'm not her dad. I'm not her warden. Then I saw the one story. It was a shaky video of her dancing with a guy at a club, hands on her waist, her head tilted back laughing, his face close to her ear like he was saying something intimate. It could have been harmless, it could have been nothing, but her caption made it something. "What happens in Vegas? You don't post that when you're married, not unless you want people to think you're doing things you shouldn't be doing." I called her immediately. She answered on the third ring, voice loud over the club noise. "What?" she shouted. "Ashley," I said, keeping my voice low because I was one breath away from raising it. "What the hell is that post?" "What post?" "The one where you're dancing with some random guy with a caption about Vegas." She groaned like I was interrupting her for something trivial. "Oh my God, relax. I was just dancing. It's a bachelorette party." "I don't care," I said. "You're married. You don't post suggestive stuff about other men. You're being controlling," she snapped. "I'm being a husband who doesn't want his wife publicly flirting with strangers online," I said. "Delete it. You're overreacting. Delete it," I repeated. "Or I'm coming to Vegas and we're having a much bigger conversation in person." That got her attention, not because she respected the boundary, because she didn't want the inconvenience of dealing with me while she was on her trip. She deleted it and then spent the rest of the call telling me I was ruining her fun, accusing me of always making everything about you, and ending it with a dramatic, "Whatever, I'll just never post anything ever again." When she got home, I sat her down at the kitchen table. No anger, no yelling, just that calm tone you use when you're trying to keep something from cracking. "This is the second time," I said. "The second time you posted something that makes it look like you're single or available. I told you after the first time that it wasn't okay." "It was just a dance," she said, arms crossed. "It was disrespectful," I said. "To me, to our marriage. If this happens again, we're going to have serious problems." She stared at the wall for a moment like she was calculating how much apology she needed to get me to shut up. Then she said, "Fine, I get it. I'm sorry. I'll stop." Boundary reinforced. Another line drawn. The third incident happened 3 months later. She went to brunch with friends and posted a photo of mimosas, clinking glasses, sunlight through the window, the kind of picture that's supposed to scream, "I'm living my best life." The caption read, "Day drinking because my husband's not here to judge me." I texted her instantly, "Delete that post." She responded, "Why? It's funny." No, it wasn't funny. It made me look like some controlling jerk who policed her behavior. And she was pregnant. Even if it was a virgin mimosa, the caption made it sound like she was sneaking something behind my back. When she got home, I didn't let it slide. I was done playing gentle. "We need to talk," I said. She sighed dramatically. "About what now?" "About you repeatedly posting disrespectful things about our marriage," I said, "even though I've asked you multiple times to stop." "It's social media," she said. "It's not that deep." "It is that deep," I replied. "You're publicly portraying our marriage like it's a cage you're trying to escape. That's humiliating." She looked at me, eyes narrowing, like I was being unreasonable for wanting basic respect. "Maybe you should just not look at my Instagram if it bothers you so much," she said. That sentence made my blood run cold, because it wasn't just dismissive. It was her saying, "This is who I am online, and if you don't like it, that's your problem. Maybe you should respect your husband enough not to post things that make him look like a joke," I said. She got quiet then, and for the first time, I saw something flicker. Maybe guilt, maybe realization, maybe the fear that I was actually serious. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "You're right, I'll be more careful." I stared at her. "This is your last chance," I said. "One more post like that and we're going to have a very different conversation." "I understand," she said. "I promise." And here's the part I'm not proud of. I believed her. Fast forward to last week. Ashley had been obsessed with this singer for months. Some pop guy who wore rings and eyeliner and had a fan base that treated him like a religion. I didn't get it, but I didn't need to get it. She bought tickets back in January, $300 for floor seats, and she talked about it like she was counting down to a spiritual event. Saturday afternoon, she got ready like she was going to a movie premiere. Hair curled, makeup perfect, outfit planned weeks in advance. She was going with her sister and 2 friends. The concert was 2 hours away in the city and they were staying overnight at a hotel because it ended late. She kissed me goodbye at 2 p.m., smiled like everything was normal, and said, "Don't burn the house down." "Have fun," I said. "Text me when you get there." She waved and left. At 8 p.m., I was on the couch watching some forgettable show, half paying attention, when my phone started buzzing like a hornet nest. Instagram notifications, Facebook notifications, texts, one from my buddy Mike. "Dude, did you see what Ashley posted?" One from my brother. "What the hell is this?" One from my mom. "Honey, is everything okay with you and Ashley?" My stomach dropped. I opened Instagram. Ashley had posted a video from the concert. Singer on stage, lights exploding, crowd screaming. Ashley's voice was loud and sharp in the audio, that high-pitched, excited shriek people do when they want everyone to know they're having the best time. And the caption was right there, like a knife left on the counter. "Forgot I'm happily married and pregnant for a second." I read it once, then again, then a third time, like maybe the words would rearrange themselves into something less humiliating. Then I looked at the comments. Her friends were eating it up. People I recognized, some strangers too. "Girl, same. We're all single tonight. What pregnancy? Live your life, queen." Laughing emojis everywhere, and in that moment, I felt something in me go very still. Not rage, not heartbreak, a kind of clean, cold clarity. 4 incidents, 4 boundary conversations, 4 promises. And here we were again, except this time it wasn't a bar joke or a brunch caption. This time she publicly announced, like it was cute, that she forgot she was married and pregnant, forgot me, forgot our child, forgot her vows, like it was an accessory she could take off for the night. I typed my comment under her post without hesitation. "Let me help you forget permanently." I posted it. Then I stood up. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. The lease was in my name. Ashley moved in after we got married, and her name never got added. At the time, it didn't matter. We were married. We were a team. Now it mattered. I went to the bedroom and opened her closet, and I started packing. I wasn't frantic. I wasn't throwing things. I wasn't smashing frames or ripping photos like some dramatic movie scene. I was methodical. I pulled her clothes off hangers and folded them into suitcases. Her expensive dresses she bought for content, her matching sets, her going out outfits she wore once and posted 5 times from different angles. I packed the designer handbag her mom bought her for Christmas. I packed the shoes lined up like a boutique. I emptied the bathroom of her products, the $80 face cream, the hair stuff that took up half the counter, the makeup bag that weighed like a brick. I packed her ring light, the tripod, the little backdrop she used to film videos, the laptop she edited on, the journal she wrote in for 2 weeks before abandoning it, every trace, 2 hours of packing, 3 suitcases, 4 boxes, 2 bags. My back hurts by the end. I carried it all to the porch, trip after trip, and arranged it neatly. Suitcases in a row, boxes stacked, bags on top. It looked almost polite, like I was doing her a favor. 4 years of marriage reduced to luggage on a porch. I took a photo. Then I called a 24-hour locksmith. "I need my locks changed tonight," I said. "How soon?" 11, he told me. "Perfect," I said. It cost $280. I paid cash. While I waited, I looked around the apartment. Without her clutter, it looked different. Cleaner, quieter, lighter. The throw pillows she scattered everywhere like she was trying to suffocate the couch. The candles on every surface. The live, laugh, love sign she hung in the kitchen that I always hated. I took that sign down too and dropped it into one of the boxes. Then I texted Ashley the photo of her things on the porch. "Your stuff is outside. Locks are being changed. Don't come back." 5 minutes, nothing. 10 minutes, nothing. Then my phone started ringing. Ashley. I didn't answer. She called again. Then texts. "What are you talking about? This isn't funny. Answer your phone, please." At 10:53 p.m., the locksmith arrived and swapped out the locks like he'd done it 1,000 times, which, judging by his expression, he probably had. He handed me 3 new keys. He glanced at the suitcases on the porch and then at me. "Domestic situation?" he asked. "Something like that," I said. He nodded slowly. "Good luck, man." He left. I went to bed. My phone rang 37 times that night. Ashley, her sister, her mom, her friends. I turned the phone off and slept like someone who'd finally cut a cord that had been strangling him for a year. Sunday morning, I woke up to 93 texts. Most were from Ashley. "Where is my stuff? You can't do this. I'm pregnant. This is illegal. I'm calling the police. Please just talk to me. I'm sorry. I'll delete it. I love you. Please." Her sister had a few too. "What is wrong with you? She's 6 months pregnant. You're insane." Her mom. "We need to discuss this like adults. Ashley is devastated. Whatever she did, this is too far." And one from my mom. Ashley's mother called me. "What happened? Call me." I made coffee and checked Instagram. Ashley's concert post was still up. Over 300 likes now. My comment had 89 likes and dozens of replies. "OMG, what does this mean? Are you guys okay? This is savage." He finally snapped. She deserved it. I screenshot everything. Her post, the caption, the comments, my comments, all of it. Because part of me knew the next phase wasn't emotional. It was legal. At 9 a.m. Sunday, I called a divorce attorney and left a voicemail. "I need to file for separation," I said, "and I need to protect myself legally." Then I called my mom. She answered like she'd been waiting beside the phone. "What happened?" she asked immediately. I told her everything. The first post, the second, the third, the boundaries, the promises, the concert caption, and the locks. There was a long silence after I finished. Then she said, very carefully, "You kicked your pregnant wife out." I removed her belongings from an apartment leased solely in my name, I said, choosing my words like I'd already talked to a lawyer, even though I had just left a voicemail. "And I changed the locks to protect my property and peace of mind." "That sounds like something a lawyer told you to say," my mom muttered. "I called one this morning," I said. "She's carrying my child. She's also publicly humiliated me repeatedly after promising 4 times to stop." "So you punish her?" my mom asked, voice tight. "You throw her out?" "I enforced consequences," I said. "I warned her exactly what would happen." "You're being cruel," my mom said. "I'm being decisive," I replied. "There's a difference." We hung up and neither of us felt good about it. Monday morning, the lawyer called back. Her name was Jennifer Huang. She sounded efficient and completely unsurprised, like my story wasn't even close to the wildest thing she'd heard that week. "Okay," she said after listening. "Legally, this is messy." "I figured," I said. "Your wife has established residency even if she's not on the lease," Jennifer explained. "Changing the locks without notice can be considered an illegal eviction in most states." "Can she sue?" I asked. "She can," Jennifer said. "Will she? Probably not, because it's embarrassing and she doesn't want it public in court. But if she does, it's not a slam dunk for you." I exhaled slowly. "So what do we do?" "We file for legal separation," Jennifer said. "Immediately. We create a formal paper trail. We proceed with proper eviction steps if needed. Sometimes the act of filing makes the other side fall in line because it signals you're serious." "How much?" I asked. $5,000 up front," she said. "Do it," I replied without hesitation. By end of business Monday, papers were filed. Tuesday morning, Ashley showed up at my workplace. I work in IT for a mid-sized company. Beige walls, fluorescent lights, the kind of place where nothing dramatic is supposed to happen. Ashley walked into the lobby like she owned it, belly visible under her hoodie, eyes red, hair pulled back like she didn't have time to perform. The receptionist called me. "There's an Ashley here to see you," she said, confused. "Tell her I'm unavailable," I said. "She says it's an emergency." "Tell her to leave," I said, "or call security." Ashley left, then she texted me. "We need to talk. I'm sorry, please." I replied, "Talk to my lawyer, Jennifer Huang. Here's her number." Ashley responded immediately. "I don't want a lawyer. I want my husband." I stared at that line for a long time because it was almost poetic in its irony. I typed, "You should have thought about that before you publicly practically forgot you had one. Her next text came fast. It was a joke, and I typed back, it was the 4th time I warned you. Then she tried a different angle. The one she knew carried weight. I'm 6 months pregnant with your baby. I replied, I'm aware. You'll get child support. Custody will be handled legally. There was a pause. Then, I don't want custody terms. I want to fix this. I typed the truth. There's nothing to fix. You made your choice 4 times. I made mine. After that, she went quiet for a day. Wednesday, my brother called. Mom is losing her mind, he said. She says you're being unreasonable. Mom wasn't publicly humiliated, I said. 4 separate times. He sighed. Was it really that bad? Yes, I said. Bad enough to divorce your pregnant wife? Bad enough to divorce a woman who repeatedly disrespected our marriage after being asked to stop, I corrected. There was another pause. Then my brother said, fair enough. What do you need from me? Nothing, I said. Just wanted you to know I'm not changing my mind. I get it, he said. I'm here if you need me. Thursday, Ashley's mom showed up at my apartment. I opened the door and she was standing there like she'd been fueled by righteous anger for days. We need to talk, she said. No, we don't, I replied. You kicked my pregnant daughter out of her home, she snapped. I removed my wife's belongings from an apartment leased in my name after she violated boundaries we established, I said calmly. All over an Instagram post, she scoffed. Over 4 posts, I said. After 4 conversations and 4 promises. So what? She said, eyes flashing. You just give up? I didn't give up, I replied. I enforced consequences. She stared at me like she didn't recognize the kind of man who would actually follow through. She's devastated, she said, voice shaking. She should have thought about that before posting, I said. You're heartless, she spat. I'm consistent, I replied. There's a difference. She stormed away. 2 weeks passed. Ashley stayed at her sister's place. My lawyer sent over separation paperwork and custody proposals. Ashley eventually got her own lawyer. There were emails back and forth that made everything feel sterile and unreal, like we were negotiating a business dissolution instead of a marriage. The Instagram post stayed up for 5 days. 5 days. Ashley's friends convinced her not to delete it. They said deleting it would make her look guilty. They told her it was just a joke. They told her to stand her ground. By day 5, she deleted it. But by then, screenshots were everywhere. Group chats, Facebook, random community pages. Someone reposted it with my comments highlighted like a trophy. Let me help you forget permanently became a meme in our social circle. Someone made it their Facebook cover photo. Someone else turned it into a motivational poster. My comments in bold over a sunset background like it was a quote from a self-help guru. The concert video got saved and re-uploaded by at least a dozen people. Every repost had hundreds of comments. He did what needed to be done. She found out actions have consequences. Imagine being pregnant and posting this. He's savage and I respect it. He's a monster. She was just having fun. The debate raged like it was an election. People picked sides. Facts didn't matter as much as the story they wanted to believe. Ashley's friends built a narrative where I was controlling and abusive. He monitored her social media. He isolated her from friends. He abandoned a pregnant woman over a joke. Never mind that her posts were public. Never mind that I never stopped her from seeing friends. Never mind the 3 previous incidents and the clear boundary conversations. My friends sided with me. They defended me publicly, shared their own stories of boundaries being crossed, made it clear they weren't buying the poor Ashley narrative. My workplace got weird. Co-workers whispered. Some gave me nods of respect. Others looked at me like I was a ticking bomb. My boss pulled me aside one day. I'm not commenting on your personal life, he said carefully, but the social media stuff has been noticed. Keep it professional at work. Understood, I said. After 3 weeks, the attention died down. New drama replaced old drama, like it always does online. But people didn't forget. Every once in a while, someone would recognize me in public, at the grocery store. Hey, you're that guy from the concert post, right? Respect. Or, you're the one who kicked out his pregnant wife? That's messed up. I stopped responding, just nodded and moved on. Meanwhile, Ashley's attempts to reconcile escalated. Week 2, she sent flowers to my office with a card that said, I'm sorry. I love you. Please call me. I threw them away. Week 3, she showed up at my gym and waited in the parking lot. When I came out, she stepped toward me like she was approaching a wild animal. We need to talk, she said. No, we don't, I replied, walking past her. Please, she begged. 5 minutes. Talk to my lawyer, I said. I got in my car and left. Week 4, she tried a different approach. A long email, pages of apology, explanations, promises. She wrote about therapy, about validation, about how she didn't understand how serious it was, about how she was scared of motherhood and clung to attention because it made her feel alive, about how she was sorry for humiliating me and wanted to fix it for us and for the baby. I read it once, then I didn't respond. Jennifer, my lawyer, advised against any communication outside legal channels. Everything you say can be used in custody hearings, she warned. Keep it through lawyers. So I did. 3 weeks after the concert, Ashley texted me through a friend's phone because I'd blocked her number. Can we please talk in person? I wrote back, about what? About us, about the baby, about fixing this. I replied, there's nothing to fix. I made a mistake. 4 mistakes I typed. I get it, but we have a child coming. I'm aware. Custody will be handled legally. I don't want lawyers. I want my husband back. And I typed the line that made my hands feel steady. Then you should have respected your husband the first time he asked. She begged. She promised. She said she meant it this time. And even though I didn't want to, even though I knew it wouldn't change anything, I agreed to meet once. Public place, neutral ground, coffee shop. She looked tired. The so-called pregnancy glow was gone. Dark circles under her eyes. Stress had pulled the shine out of her. I'm sorry, she said immediately, voice trembling. I messed up multiple times. I know, I said. She blinked like she expected that to soften me. What do you want me to say? She asked. I don't know, I replied. Maybe the truth, without excuses. She swallowed. I wanted people to like me, she whispered. I wanted attention. I didn't think it mattered. That's the problem, I said. You didn't think. 4 times. I wasn't thinking about you, she cried. I was just thinking about likes, I finished, comments, validation from strangers. That's not fair, she snapped, then immediately softened again. Okay, it is. I'm sorry. I'll delete Instagram. I'll delete everything. I'll never post again. Too late, I said. Her eyes widened in fear. Please give me another chance. I gave you 3 chances, I said. You burned all of them. So what? She cried, voice rising. We're just done. You're really going to raise our kid from separate houses? That's what custody agreements are for, I said. This is insane, she whispered, shaking her head. You're throwing away our marriage over social media posts. No, I said, calm and unshaking. I'm ending a marriage my wife couldn't respect enough to keep her word. It was 4 posts over a year, she pleaded. 4 posts too many, I said. She cried right there in the coffee shop, shoulders shaking, hands covering her face. People looked over. Someone stared like they wanted to film it. I stood up. We're done, I said softly. Talk to the lawyers. I left her there. And if you're looking for the part where I felt like a hero, it wasn't there. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt hollow, like I'd cut off a limb that was infected and necessary at the same time. 5 months passed. The baby was born 6 weeks ago, March 15th, a healthy girl, 7 pounds, 3 ounces. We named her Emma. I was there for the birth. Ashley's sister called me when she went into labor. I drove to the hospital and sat in the waiting room with a vending machine coffee, staring at the wall like a man trying to keep his life from splitting further. When the nurse finally said I could come in, I walked into the room and saw Ashley exhausted, sweaty, hair stuck to her forehead, eyes glassy with pain and adrenaline. We didn't speak beyond logistics. Sign here, the nurse said. Her temperature is normal, someone else said. She needs to eat, Ashley's sister said. When they placed Emma in my arms, she was tiny and warm and furious at the world. Her little fingers wrapped around mine like she was gripping reality itself. She had Ashley's nose and my eyes, and I loved her immediately. Not cautiously, not gradually, immediately. Ashley and I didn't talk during the hospital stay beyond necessary facts. No tears, no tenderness, no we did it. Just strangers co-parenting, not partners celebrating. I left the hospital after 2 hours and went back to an apartment that had become a bachelor pad again. Quiet, clean, empty. The nursery I'd started before everything happened was still there. Crib, changing table, rocking chair. All ready for my week with Emma. Because yes, there's a custody agreement now. Week on, week off. 50-50. I pay child support. $1,200 a month based on income and the arrangement. My lawyer fought for equal custody and won. The handoffs happen at a neutral location. A coffee shop parking lot halfway between my place and Ashley's sister's house where Ashley still lives. Sundays at 6 p.m. Like clockwork. We don't talk. We exchange Emma and her diaper bag like it's a business transaction. Then we send necessary information later by text. She's teething. Tylenol is in the bag. Got it. She needs her 2-month shots this week. Scheduled. Civil. Barely. My weeks with Emma are the best. I took parental leave for 4 weeks. I spent every day learning her schedule, her cries, the tiny differences between hungry and tired and uncomfortable and bored. I got good at it, better than I expected. Diaper changes in under a minute. Bottles prepped at 2 a.m. without turning on lights. Bedtime routine down to a science. I'm a good dad, patient, attentive, present. And here's the bitter irony. I became the kind of father I always intended to be the moment my marriage stopped distracting me from my own dignity. Ashley's weeks with Emma are online. I don't check her Instagram, I don't seek it out. But people still send me screenshots like they're delivering news. Photos of Emma with captions, single mom life. My whole world, stronger than you think. Cash Mummy and me. The comments are always the same. Her friends hyping her up, calling her brave, calling her strong, telling her Emma is lucky to have her. Never mind I have Emma 50% of the time. Never mind the child support, never mind she's not actually a single mom, she's a divorced co-parent. But facts don't fit the narrative she's built, and Ashley has always loved the narrative. I don't engage. I don't comment. Her online presence is none of my business now. People still ask if I regret it. Co-workers, family, friends. Do you ever think you overreacted? No, I say. But it was just social media. It was public discourse disrespect, I reply every time, 4 separate times after being asked to stop. Still, they say, you have a kid. I wish she respected me enough to keep her word, I answer. My mom still thinks I was too harsh. She calls once a month and asks if I've considered reconciliation for Emma's sake. Kids do better with both parents together, she says. Kids do better with parents who respect each other, I reply. Ashley didn't respect me. That's not a foundation for a family. But you have a family, my mom insists. Emma has her father, I say. She has me 50% of the time. She's fine. My brother gets it. He told me last week, don't let anyone make you feel bad for having standards. And he's right. Single fatherhood is hard. Co-parenting is awkward. The handoffs are tense. The silence is heavy. The holidays are going to be complicated. But it's still better than staying in a marriage where I was treated like a prop in my wife's online storyline. Better than teaching my daughter that it's okay to humiliate your spouse publicly and call it a joke. Better than accepting disrespect because it's just social media. Some people think that makes me cold, unforgiving, heartless, maybe. But I'd rather be cold and respected than warm and walked over. Here's what I learned, the hard way. Boundaries without consequences are just suggestions. I set boundaries. Ashley ignored them. I warned her. She didn't listen. I enforced consequences. She faced them. Could I have tried counseling? Maybe. Could I have offered a 5th chance? I guess. But why? Why should marriage be a shield against accountability? Why should pregnancy be a free pass to ignore your spouse's dignity? Ashley made choices. So did I. Her choice was to prioritize social media validation over her husband's respect. My choice was to walk away. And if you want the clean, final truth, the one line that sums it all up, it's this. Ashley wanted to forget she was married for a second, so I helped her forget permanently. No regrets.